minute, don't know. Got a minute of your time. Got a minute of your. Let it. First job that I live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye.
Hello and welcome to our podcast. We are one day late. Usually we come live on Monday, but Monday was Canada Day and I was busy out and about, so we couldn't meet together. But here we are on a Tuesday. We are the podcast Vision to Success. If it's your first time here, welcome. We are a podcast that really shares how to get from point A to point B and all the messiness in between. Miguel, I don't know what he's doing. So I guess I'm carrying this podcast on my own today, like I always do. No, I'm just kidding.
You relax. It said here.
I'm just kidding.
It's yeah. So apparently the Facebook is not working, but the MTC Live page is. So they said just to post it on
the Facebook.
On the Facebook.
Just share it to your personal page, but you can do it after, I guess.
Yeah. So where it says one view visiting. I think it's just me.
It's just you. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. We'll share it from, or we can deal with it after. I don't know.
Yeah, we can just deal with it afterwards. So, anyways, how you guys doing? How's everything? We are excited to be here. And let me just close this guy off because this is being very distracting. All right, great.
There we go.
Welcome to Vision to Success, where we talk about everything in between.
Not really the vision or the success. Just kidding. We do talk about vision and success.
Yeah, we talk. Yes. So how the pod? Do you know that I've been getting messaged about when are we going to start this book club?
Yes, book club. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and then
we gotta get our ducks in order, but for sure that's happening.
So when we need to give a date, because if we don't do this, like I mean, you and I are the same.
But you know what? We do have to look at our schedules. We have to look at our schedules.
It's 30-day of reading.
Like a 30-day reading challenge?
Yeah.
And what book did we say we were going to do? Start off Habits? Or was it the Power?
No, the Power Habit. The Atomic Habit.
Atomic Habits. That was the...
So I got a couple of people already asking me for the link.
For Atomic Habits?
For Atomic Habits.
Okay. So we're going to post it. We're going to make it into a group. We're going to share it. If you want to be part of it, you can... You know, you can make groups that people can add themselves onto as well, or message us and we'll add you.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do it for July 15th to August 15th.
July 15th. Oh, middle of the month.
Yeah, middle to middle. Because I'm like, that way, if we do middle to middle, it gets people a chance to grab the book.
Yeah, it gives us 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For them to go out and buy and get the book.
Get the book, get started. And then August 15th, around that date, that week, you and I can go live. We can actually go pop into the group and just give our insights, what we liked most. Yeah. People can share their insights and whatnot. That is the greatest book. If you are looking for any kind of change in your life, you want to hit that book.
So, July 15th, we start.
To August 15th.
To August 15th.
Yep.
Okay. And then it would be Facebook group.
Yeah, a Facebook community.
Okay. Close it or open?
I'll close one.
Close one?
Yeah, we're going to do close one because you know what? If we leave it open, you get people in there that you don't really want in there, bots and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to make it a closed community, potentially a private community. So you might have to message us because we really do want people that do really want to read the book or at least have a willingness to read the book and not are just there to...
Yeah. And today, oh my gosh, Maria, what time did you show up?
I showed up at 9:44. Hey!
9:44.
Listen, if this is your first time kind of knowing our journey with being on time.
Who's our? What are you talking about? Our journey.
Our journey.
No.
Okay, by our journey, I mean my journey.
This is all you.
Okay, Yes, I am late. I've been late to the podcast, and by late, I just mean on time.
No, I will show you the text message. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm 5 minutes late. I'll be there in 2 minutes.
First of all, we always went live at 10 a.m. But yes, according to technically, it was just way too stressful. I was literally, as we were going live, I was like running in, and I would have no idea what we're talking about until we sat down, right?
Yeah,
so technically, I was late. So right now, Miguel is timing me. We have set a goal for me.
Yeah.
To be 15 minutes early, which means on time. So today, I knew I my workout, and I work out in the mornings, and my workout ended up a little later than I anticipated, but I was so mindful of the time. I didn't even get changed. If you notice, I have no makeup on. If you notice my hair, I brushed it with my hands. I'm still wearing my workout outfit because I literally just went, put on a t-shirt, and was like running. And then I got outside at like 9:44, and I literally ran so I could ring the doorbell like 9:44. I was like...
And so today she was 1 minute in the plus.
Yes, so that means, and if you are just with us, if I am in the plus, Miguel will get me one of my favorite books, whatever book I want.
Whatever book you want. And
exactly. So I'm excited. I'm working towards that.
well, the goal is, so she has 10 sessions. This is her 7th.
Yep.
Or 6th. And then by the end of the 10th session, she needs to be a 60-minute in the surplus. So right now she's in the negative.
Listen.
She was like 19 minutes behind, and so this 1 minute puts her on top, and so then that would be, you are 17 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just posting the podcast on your Facebook as well.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That way it's on your timeline too.
Okay. Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. That we are super excited. Listen, today I actually, out of all the topics that we've discussed, I think this is by far my favorite message of all time. There is a book called The Power of Positive Thinking.
Yes. I'm sure there is.
There is. I have it. I've read it. Read it a long time ago. I used to work for a financial company.
Okay.
And it was one of the books that they were recommending. And so this guy, before he promoted like products, services, or anything, he was big on just positive thinking. He says it just sets the tone for the day. It sends, especially if you're in a leadership position.
Yep.
It depending who's following or depending who you are over or on top or whatever, it's positive thinking is just absolutely amazing. So now every time that I'm around, I always make it a conscious decision. So when people say, how's your day? Because they always like, oh, hi, how are you? And I'm like, amazing. I always
people are like, what's so amazing in your life?
That is. But the funny thing is, like, that is always the reaction. They're like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard that before. and it kind of gets me sad. I was like, you nobody else has answered. Oh, today it's an amazing day.
I don't usually answer. I don't think I've ever heard, aside from you, saying amazing.
So what do you say if
somebody asks me? I just say, oh, I'm really good. Did you hear that?
That was insane.
That was
Maria's giving birth right now. I don't know if you heard that. I wish. Oh, why can't we have instant replay? What?
That was so weird. It sounded like a baby. Sorry. I was talking, and there was like a baby sound that came from my tummy.
So I looked around and goes, is there a child here?
That was so weird.
That legit came out of you?
Yes. Well, it was my tummy. It was my stomach. It made a sound.
Can you guys let us know if you heard that?
That was really weird. I apologize.
As she is talking, so there's another sound that came out as she was talking. And it sounded like
a baby crying.
It sounded like.
Yes. Anyway, talking back about how I answer, I often just answer, but people normally tell I am a very happy person, right?
Yeah, but how do you answer? So when you're like on the street and you're like, hey, hi, how are you?
I usually say really good. But it's like my demeanor. I have a little pep in my step and I'm like, oh, I'm really good. How are you? And then people are usually like, good, fine, whatever, right?
Oh, no. For me, it's like amazing.
Yeah, he does always say amazing.
So Maria had, before we do this thing, we need to talk about the weekend.
Oh, yes. The weekend. Let's talk about that weekend.
Friday. Maria and Mike celebrated their
40th. Oh my gosh. 40th. Incredible.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Maria, she's not a strong dancer.
No, I'm not.
I
am not a strong dancer.
But she says she's not a strong dancer.
I am not a strong dancer.
She's a strong dancer. She uses her arms a lot. Like that's the only thing, right?
Yeah, 100%.
No. You are. You're a strong dancer. I was looking at everybody, and I was looking at you, and I was looking at Michelle and everybody. Like, Michelle can dance.
Michelle can dance.
Michelle, like when that reggae hit.
Yeah, Michelle was ready. Our friend Michelle, she threw it. And the funny thing is that she actually had a lot of back pain prior to the event.
Yeah. Oh, she was popping pills. You didn't see that? She was
popping. I know, because I was like, you do what you have to. And I'm like, I'll look the other way. Do what you have to, but you're showing up. And that girl showed up.
Yeah. Candy's a great dancer.
Oh yeah, she's so fun too.
Yeah. So, anyways, you're a good dancer. You use your arms to express every single instrument, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
First of all, let's reel it back a little bit. Let me tell you a little bit about before though. This is where I think the conversation's heading. So Mike and I, we had a big bash for our 40th, and we invited the people that have been closest to us and to like really, really, really good friends. Mm-hmm. So it was really great. We had a small net of like really, really good friends that have been with us through years and years and years. Anyway, prior to this event, Mike and I went to this restaurant, and there's dancing in the restaurant. So him and I danced, and I'm super self-conscious of dancing, like super self-conscious. And he loves dancing. He's such a great dancer. So that day I made a promise to that man. I was like, listen, for our 40th, I'm going to be unhinged. I expect full-blown unhinged. I'm going to dance. And he's like, all right, right? So sure enough, our 40th came.
And it was very interesting to say the least.
Oh, it was so good. Listen, at a certain point, in order to get myself out of my head, I had to think of it as a workout. Okay. Once I shifted my thought into a workout thought.
Really?
Because I can work out for the most part, I enjoy working out by myself. But if I am around other people, I can still work out. I can still push hard, and I don't care what I look like when I work out. Any other aspect of like anything physical like dancing, I care. Right? Oh, wow. So I shifted my perspective into like I'm working out. So I'm like, I'm jumping rope. I'm going to the side, crunch. I'm like, I don't know what I was doing. But I kid you not, it was an hour and a half of straight up dancing. I was so sweaty. Like you have no idea. Like sweat dripping out of my face. I didn't care.
If you're a 90s kid, like if you like that era with all the music, it was 90s,
2000s.
It was a 90. I didn't hear any. Maybe
it's just 90s. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just maybe 90s.
No, but there was like hip hop, dance, Euro, a lot of Euro.
Holy moly.
So 103 Z103.5 was there, and they were hosting it. Were they going live?
They were live, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they were live. So certain portion of it was live. I think by the time we left, it was no longer live. But yeah, it's live to air.
Wow.
That's the reason why we heard of this restaurant, right? Yeah. So if you are in the Toronto area, check out this restaurant. It's called 4040.
Yeah.
Incredible. The food amazing. Best calamari I've ever had.
I was just going to say the best calamari that
and the shrimp. Did you get the shrimp too?
Yeah, I added the shrimp.
I love the shrimp. Oh my gosh.
So it's the best. I normally when I go eat, like Tegan and I, we went out on Saturday as well. We went to go see Tina, the musical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really good. It was so good.
Wow.
And I need to take notes because I'm gonna forget. So talk about Tina. Hang on.
Okay.
Tina. Reactions. Okay. And so we went, and so we went to the Keg. As I did a speaking engagement, and somebody gave me like a $50 gift certificate. So we went to the Keg, whatever. I always eat calamari as a starter. Always. It's my go-to starter. Mm-hmm. And this 40 and 40, by far the most delicious calamari that I've ever had in my entire life.
That shrimp was live too.
Live?
Like live. I mean, like it was so good. It gave me life. Yeah, like I was alive. No, it was so good. Like I kid you not, because I had it. And I was like, dang. Sometimes you get the calamari and it has like that strong fishy taste almost, and you're like, oh, right.
Tegan liked it. For Tegan to like seafood, I mean, it says a lot.
It was so good. Like the food was incredible. Listen, food was incredible. Company was incredible. The dancing was incredible. Yeah. It was so good.
And here's how disgusting this thing is.
What?
This one and me ordered the exact. To the T, the exact same meal. How freaking annoying is that?
I didn't know what he was ordering. He didn't know what I was ordering.
Yeah, I was so focused on my menu. And then, so she ordered first, and I didn't even hear what she was saying. And then it came to me, and I ordered.
And I think Tegan asked me what I got, and I was like, oh, I got this, and she's like, that's what Miguel got. I was like, wait, what?
We weren't dressed the same that day.
No,
though.
we were not. We were
Yeah.
not dressed the same.
I would
but-
have gone home. I just,
You're like, I'm
just
done.
let you know. I was like, I'm done.
I know, it's crazy. We ordered the exact same thing.
So Tegan, I didn't dance that day.
Yeah.
Couple of reasons. One, I was feeling dizzy.
Was it all those mixes pre-workout? He comes to the event. It's a really nice restaurant. Keep in mind, it's like really nice. This guy's with a beat up water bottle with some pink drink inside, and he's like shaking it. And then he's drinking it, and he's like, it tastes like soap, and still downs it.
It tasted like soap. So I don't know, but because I've been doing, there's certain goals. I'm getting ready for the Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm so excited for it. Are you
I know,
excited?
me too.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so good.
As soon as the tickets go up, you got to let me know so I can buy them.
Yeah, I will. We're going to wait till, not September, but at the end of August. They go on Groupon. If you are doing Tough Mudder, Groupon usually has it. The end of August, they actually sell for $99 as opposed to right now they're $200.
Yeah, I'm not paying $200.
Unless we have to.
I would pay $200, but my kids are going. That's $600. I'm not doing $600.
Levi and Elias.
And Elias.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna have so much fun.
I
It's
know.
gonna be incredible.
Yeah. So
Can't wait to see them get shocked. Levi especially. Not in a sense where like
No, I am.
want him to get shocked.
I want them to get
I
shocked.
just want to see what his reaction is as he's getting shocked.
I'm gonna pull his legs and bring him back so he can get multiple shocked. 100%. This is happening. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I've been going to the gym a lot, and I've been hitting the sauna.
Yeah.
A lot. Like normally I go in for about an hour. I'm like doing an hour and a half.
Okay.
And I do the cold plunge because it's cold plunge is like you burn calories a lot.
That's what I hear. Like
It is, yeah, because it elevates your heart rate, and then your cardiovascular increases and stuff like that. And so because you're shivering, that's the body's trying to produce heat, and that's burning calories. It's burning energy, right? So out of all the things that you could do, cold plunge is one of the fastest ways to burn calories.
okay.
Yeah. So I've been doing that a lot, and instead of like 45 minutes to an hour, I'm doing about an hour and a half. So my electrolytes were really, really low. So I downed this thing. I forget what it's called, BioSteel electrolytes.
Okay.
But it tasted like detergent. So I don't know if I used the bottle for detergent before, and I'm like,
But why would you have a detergent bottle in your? Do you usually do that?
no.
Okay, so the likelihood of that happening is low.
And that's why I downed it. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever. If this is the way I'm gonna go, this is the way I'm gonna go.
It was worth it.
So it was
I lived a good life.
yeah. So I downed it, and so, but anyways, I was dizzy, and I think it's because of the low electrolytes, and the other one is because Tegan, I knew she did not want to dance.
But she danced,
I
which
know, but in the past we've gone dancing, and it looks like Chinese torture. Like she is.
I'm so proud of Tegan. Listen, I thought Tegan came up, and I thought she was telling me that she was about to leave, and I was like, you better not tell me you're about to leave.
Yeah.
You better be dancing. And then she started dancing. I was like, oh, I guess she wasn't leaving, so I'm not exactly sure if she was like, oh, I better dance.
I think we were leaving, and then you hostiled her.
She danced. We danced for like a solid hour. She was there for a solid hour. I
There's
think.
no way she was there dancing for now. I give you.
It
my
was
word. There was no way she
I
was
don't know.
dancing
It
for
felt
now.
like an hour, and she was there for a long time. I have several videos of her that I've been taking at like different points in the night.
There's no way. There's
Okay, maybe like half an hour.
it was 20 minutes.
You think?
Yeah, 100%. There's no
Either
way.
way, she came twice, and I was like, I was impressed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it was really good. I can't complain. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, good for her.
Tegan and I had a lot of fun. I don't know about him.
I had a blast. I'm definitely going back.
So good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh, it was so good.
So maybe we can do like a podcast
Live to air.
live to air at 40.
It's so fun. It's a great place. You should check it out if you're in the area.
Those guys will probably like let us. We pick a corner.
Oh, it's so good. Set menu, food is delicious.
Yeah,
like
it
it's
is.
amazing.
And-
Okay, did you see that dessert? We ordered
What
dessert
is that?
trays.
What was up with that?
I didn't know what it looked like. It just said dessert tray, and I actually thought initially they said it came out in a martini glass, like a huge martini glass, and I thought it was like ice cream, like Sunday style. That's what I thought. And when they brought it out, it was these huge platters of all kinds of different
Like a prosciutto board.
prosciutto,
sh-
charcuterie board, prosciutto.
Don't.
A charcuterie board. Yeah, it was like a board, and it was filled with desserts, and my mind was blown. I was not Listen, if you're gonna host any kind of event, you gotta go there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is my second birthday celebration bash. where it's been at a restaurant like this.
Yeah.
The first one was Copacabana. But there's no dancing there. There's live performances. Brazilian half
naked people.
half naked people, and it's very uncomfortable because you're there with like church friends and your spouse, and then these
You're looking down.
yeah, I'm like, and Tegan's like, look, they're dancing so well. I'm like, I don't want to.
You're like, I don't want to look.
But
anyway, so that was our weekend.
that
Fun
was the weekend. It was very, very positive. So I don't know why and how, but I've been thinking about positive thinking a lot, right? Especially going into the summer. And it's one of those things like when you think it, God, the universe, whatever you want to think, puts it out there, and then they're like, here it is. And I saw this video, and it talked about the 7 rules of positive thinking. And I'm like, this is absolutely fire. And so I want to give Maria a test to see. So you don't know what it is.
I don't know what
She
it
doesn't
is.
know what it is. But this is what we're going to do right now. There's 7 rules. I want you to put on the chat without knowing what they are, and you have to be very honest here.
Okay. 100%.
How many of the 7s Maria actually does?
I'm interested. Maybe
Yeah.
none, maybe all, maybe half. I don't know.
So just looking at these, I'm not going to tell you because I don't want my number to persuade you. But if you know Maria and you know her personality, there are 7 rules to positive thinking. I want you to put down how many of these 7 things, without knowing how many of these 7 things.
Without knowing what the 7 things are?
Yeah. So just right now, just put it on the chat. How many of these 7 things do you think Maria is actually following?
I wonder.
How many do you think?
Maybe half. Maybe 4 to 5. I would say maybe 4 to 5 because I don't know what the 7 are, right?
I know you don't know what the 7s are.
So I'm like, I don't know, maybe 4 and 5. I feel like I do a lot to nurture and cultivate a positive mindset. So I expect that I am doing some of the things in there, but
Yeah,
sometimes
I would think so.
Yeah, sometimes these lists get a little tricky. So I'm like, I don't know. There goes 6. Hey, thank you, Pam.
Pam says 6.
Thank you.
The winner, I don't know. I was going to say the winner gets $300. But
No, we did. Listen, no.
It was a joke. It was a joke. I'm not giving away No, we're on a 75th podcast. In the meantime, while we talk, put out of the 7, how many do you think? So we're on a 75th podcast. You know that, right?
Hey.
Are we going to do something big for our 100th?
Yeah, let's talk about it. We'll talk about it and we'll come back.
Destination.
Destination. We will get you a vacation. Just
No,
kidding.
who? Them? We love them, but I can't afford
We can't afford that.
take people.
Can barely afford ourselves going. Can barely afford to pay our own bills. I'm just kidding.
What is happening right now?
Okay, go. Okay, ask me. Is it a question attached to it, or are you just
No,
gonna ask me? Like, how is it gonna work?
They're. What was that?
There's like screaming outside.
So there's 7 things that you need to do to have a. I don't think they're in any particular order,
Okay.
but just 7 practices, 7 things that you should do, or the 7 rules of positive thinking. I should have done a research where this person or where this post got these things. I'm trying to remember, even if the positive thinking. Anyways, doesn't matter. All right, ready? Here we go. So 1 person guessed 6. So Pam automatically is the winner. Here we go. Number 1.
Okay.
Start each day with gratitude.
Yeah. I feel like I need to do better with that. I do it, but I don't do it
No,
frequent enough.
you journal.
I do
And
journal.
a lot of the times you write down what you're grateful for and what you're excited and all these different things.
I have this week because I've been struggling with feelings and negativity and like a lot of stuff in my mind. I've been making certain situations bigger in my mind than what they really are. So I've been journaling a lot this week, and I have had to kind of reassess certain things and then focus more on gratitude for other things in order to reshift and recenter. So I do it. I don't do it as frequent as I should, though.
She does do it. I know Maria, she does do it. Number 2, do you know that gratitude releases so much oxytocin?
Yeah, but
It's one of the few things that you can do, because normally oxytocin is induced by like somebody else.
yeah.
Touch, compliment.
Isn't the love...
It's a love chemical,
yeah.
the love hormone.
Yeah.
But gratitude is one of the few practices that actually you can self-induce
Yep.
oxytocin.
Yep. Yep.
So it's very, very powerful. And also one thing that you need to understand, like if you ever go to an AA meeting, right? Not that I've been to one, but if you ever go, and then normally what they do is, I know the practices. And so one of the first things that they do is that they hook you up with a sponsor, somebody like a friend. And then when you start to go through withdrawals and that dopamine's kicking in and you're like, you want another hit or whatever, you can call up your friend and be like, hey, I need help, whatever. And then the friend can talk you off the ledge and they're like, hey, you got this. Don't worry. Let's meet up at a Tim Hortons and all these different things. But it's human connection.
Yep.
And so it saved Isla's life. Like, I mean, when she was born, she wasn't breathing. Like she was struggling. And then, so we did skin to skin with me.
Yeah.
And the minute her skin touched my skin, she took her first deep breath.
Aww.
Right. And so, because they couldn't do it to Tegan, because Tegan was with the second baby. So she had to do skin to skin with me, but it was, it was the release of oxytocin.
Yeah.
That kickstarted her lungs, her organs.
Yeah.
So oxytocin is powerful. So when you start with gratitude, you start the day with one of the most powerful chemicals that the body can produce, which is the love chemical.
I do this visualization, and this visualization often has a focus on gratitude, because shifting to a gratitude mindset allows you to bring things that you want into your life, as opposed to shifting into like a space of, what is it called? Scarcity.
Yeah.
If you're thinking scarcity, you don't have enough, or somebody else took something from you, then you really are unable to bring things that you want into your life.
Yep. Number 2, practice self-affirmation.
Oh, 100%.
You 1,000% do this.
I have to. I want to. Not just that I have to, but I want to. My thoughts get the best of me sometimes, and I have noticed that the times that they get the best of me is when I'm not doing these practices, when I'm not consistent with doing these practices. So I have to remind myself of the truth, because our minds like to take certain things, our subconscious like to take certain things and make a big story in our mind. So if we don't reshift our thinking and kind of refocus, then
do you have posts around the house that when you see it talks back to you?
No, I don't have posts, but I have notes on my phone. So every morning, I'm kind of a big deal. Yeah. For me, every morning I recite, it's a self-confidence formula. And so I recite this thing. There you go. This is mine. That's his affirmation.
This is centered. This is on my desk.
Yeah.
I have stuff upstairs too, but this is like.
You know what? Actually, I write things down on my what is it called? On my planner. So the recent one is that I have been going back to is that I watched this on a video, and it talked about rejection. And it talked about
rejection.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it talked about how rejection is God's way to reshifting what you like, kind of what you should focus on.
Okay.
And it talked about the second part I love. It says, "What is for me, and it will not pass me by." So it helps me, especially when I feel like things like either I'm being rejected or things that I want are not working out. I have to remind myself what is for me will be for me, and it will not pass me by. So that's my affirmation that I've been sort of reminding myself of.
Does Mike do that?
Affirmations? Mm-hmm. He has on his wallpaper, he has money affirmations.
Really?
Yeah. They're just, affirmations are so important, but the thing is that if you don't attach a feeling to it, they don't work. Yeah. So if you just kind of say them because, like whatever, and you don't really believe them, then they're not going to work. But you can work on believing them by attaching gratitude to it.
The Les Brown says there's an old African proverb. Apparently, I've only heard him say it. That says, if you don't have any enemies within, no enemies without can get you, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I remember actually him hearing it, but it's all like the inner mind. It's like your inner workings that ones that really get you. Because once everything inside is at peace, or you have it aligned,
nothing outside
exactly
can get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Mike is always so positive. I've never seen him. Not that I want to ruin his reputation here, but does he get angry? Like, does he ever?
Oh, 100%.
No, he doesn't.
Oh my gosh, yes. I can bring that side of him like this.
Just
I'm just kidding. No, but truthfully, he
Just
does.
leave it up to me. Yeah.
Yeah, he does get angry. There are
Really?
things. Yeah, for sure. He's yeah. He is just a lot calmer. He's really kind, but he does have those moments where things bother him. He does get upset, and like there are things that bother him.
Well,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
No, obviously. Like, I know that. I don't think Mike is
Oh, truth.
truth.
Tell him, babe. Tell them.
So I know that I know that we all get upset or we all get angry, but like I've never seen it. Maybe because we're in public, and so he's able to
Yeah.
bring back the beast, right?
Yeah.
But like I've never seen him just kind of like, you've seen me frustrated. You've seen me like not.
But yeah, but you don't bring it up in public either, right? No. When you get frustrated and angry, you get reserved.
Yeah.
And then there's this like part of you that wants to be like normal Miguel, but I don't know if other people can tell. I can tell. I'm like, why is he looking so weird? He looks so weird. Like, and then you just kind of like, I don't know. I see you. If you're frustrated and angry, I can tell you're off. And then you'll be talking to people, but then all of a sudden you disappear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that I know you that well?
I know it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
I can definitely tell when you're frustrated or something's going on.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times when you see me at church where it's like there's definitely something wrong.
I know, and I'm like, what's wrong? You're like, nothing. I'm like, okay. And then after we're talking, you'd be like, yeah, da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, Tegan tries to get that out of me all the time when she sees me frustrated, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about it right now. What?
I think you might need time to like process. I don't know. Maybe sometimes you don't even know exactly what's bothering you.
No, if there's something that's bothering me, I always know. I'm so in tune with myself and my body and my mind and everything.
Look at him. He's like, I'm so in tune.
I am in tune. I know exactly.
100%. Mm-hmm.
I know. Relax. I always know.
He is so in tune.
I am so. By why are you making it sound like sarcastically?
Okay, go.
I am in tune. I am very in tune. I know, and you know what it is? It's because we're both in the people business. We're both in the self-development that we've read pretty much the same books. We've done all this other stuff that we see the signs, and we're very good at self-awareness.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
I don't know about I don't know about you, but I am.
I am pretty self-aware. And I think if I'm in a situation where I'm going to lose it, I tend to like,
Exactly.
Unless it's with Mike, my lovely husband, that sometimes, actually not sometimes, he always sees me at my worst.
No, but even with Tegan, when she's like, "Oh, I'm not feeling good, or I'm upset," and I'm like, "Well, why are you upset?" She's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, something's happened. I don't know what it is." I'm like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense." Like,
I feel like that sometimes too.
You're just upset for no reason.
Well, granted, keep in mind that women are different than men, right? So yeah, hormones change, right? It can be all depending. That time of the month kind of fluctuates things, right?
Next one. Here we go. That's my cue.
It's true though, like it fluctuates.
We're not talking about that.
Where I'll tell Mike, and Mike is like, "Wait, I think your period is coming." He's like, "Your friend is about to show up." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." I'm like, "Why am I so sad?" He's like, "Because your friend is coming."
Mike, can I sleep over? This is what we'll do. Mike and I, we need to have like a support system. You know, somebody said it once, and I'm like, why doesn't this exist? A hotel
for men
that
are what?
They can just come in there and just like chill while their wives are just
say it. Let's say it.
They have
say it. He can't say the word period.
I can't say it. I can't
say the word period.
Exclamation mark.
Period.
Comma.
Time of the month.
And flow. Yes. Can't say it.
So Mike is really great because I'm so bad at tracking. You know, he's a huge planner. So he has it on his calendar and he's like, "Oh, Maria, it's coming. You have a week." I'm like, "Again?"
You can track it?
Yeah, Mike does.
You can track it?
You can track it, yeah.
You're lying right now.
Of course. Okay, do we need to have the periods conversation? Let's have a period conversation, okay? So yes, usually it happens around the same time of the month. But
the same time of the month every month has a different day. Like
sometimes
30 days, 28 days, 30 days.
It can fluctuate, but around the time when it's happening. Some people are like exact, like this is the day and they will get it. Then there's other people that is not an exact science. They can differ by like 2 to 3 days, but around the time that it's supposed to be happening.
You're lying.
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh, you are lying.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
It really does happen. Babe, tell them. Michael Munt.
So hang on one second. So if I have my period,
he said it. Every 4 4 weeks roughly.
4 weeks. But then again,
Yeah.
So every month it will differ. Because
Sometimes,
it won't
yeah.
be, it won't, because some you got some weeks that are like some months that have 30 days, 31 days. February's 28 days.
Yeah, so sometimes it can. So it won't be the exact date, but the days in between are going to be very similar, anywhere between 28 to 30 days. Right? So it's really depending, but yeah, listen, you got to know this. You know you have girls too, right?
I
and there is going to be
don't-
the time where everybody's just on periods at your house.
don't say that.
It's true. And then there's gonna, I mean, sometimes some girls are better at handling the emotions that come along with a period, but some girls when
Can
they
we
first get
pick a
it,
different name? First of all, we need to pick a different
why?
name.
It's menstruation.
Yeah,
Their
even
menstrual cycle.
just let's just call
This is
it.
gonna be very informative to all the dads out there or potential fathers
Let's-
when they have girls.
Let's call it
Menstruation.
Funko Pop.
We're not calling it a Funko Pop.
Let's call it a Funko Pop.
We're using the proper.
So when the Funko Pop shows up,
Funny story.
you know why?
Why?
Because there's different characters of Funko Pops. So I don't know if you guys can see this. There's like I have 150 Funko Pops. I collect Funko Pops, by the way. And every Funko Pop is a different character, different personality, which is exactly what this.
Can I tell you a funny
monthly
story
visit
really
is.
quick?
I don't know. Is it gonna make you puke?
Okay, no, it's related to changing names to actual things like Funko Pop instead of saying period, right? So with Ruby, okay, this is gonna be a big word, guys. The word vagina, right?
No.
For Ruby, hold up, we called it Gigi, right? And so the other day she came to me and she's like, "Mama, somebody's name is Gigi." I was like, "Oh, okay, sweetie." I'm like, "Don't worry, this is the name that we call it as a family, but the actual name is vagina, right?" But her face was like, "Somebody's name is Gigi." Anyway, back to the proper name. So yes.
So we at our house, being together, husband and wife, we call it Nintendo. I'm being honest. I wish I was joking right now. We call it Nintendo.
So how does this conversation come up? I'm interested. Like
So-
what do you mean?
so-
Like, do you have the conversation with the kids? Like,
No, so it's like, so one day we were so tired. This was we're talking about years ago. Like when this started, it was like we were in our other house. So we're talking about 10 plus years ago. I think we were like,
mommy and dad are just playing Nintendo. Is that what you said? I don't even know how we got into this topic.
yeah. It was, well, anyways, we just call it Nintendo.
Anyway, so let's reel it back. I don't even know how we got into periods and Nintendo.
Positive thinking.
Positive thinking led to a Nintendo. So
So Funko Pops can be tracked.
yes, periods can be tracked.
Funko Pops.
There is an actual app that you can download.
Can
and
there
then-
really?
Yeah, there's many apps that you can download. And
Is
then
it for
helps
like
you.
men? Like when an alarm will hit, I'm like, it's coming,
Probably,
it's coming.
Maybe, probably. I don't know.
But anyways, this one person said that their whole business plan was having a motel/hotel just for guys.
Going
that they can just it would be a place of sanctuary.
sanctuary for men.
Yeah, when the Funko Pops arrive.
Anyway, let's get back to our positive thinking. So that was from number 2. What was number 2?
So again, I'm not promoting this hotel, but I understand the thought process behind this hotel.
You're so funny. All right, what's number 3?
I want to be supportive. I think this is a beautiful part of the cycle. Right? It allows duplication. What's it called?
Procreation?
Procreation.
Like, oh my gosh, you're so funny.
Allows for procreation. God is he's incredible. He created this system where I get it.
I feel like if I'm quiet and just listen, you'll keep leading us into an interesting realm. So
Maria's like, she comes in this morning and she's like, I need to talk less. I don't think so, dude.
I dominate a lot of conversations. So I'm like, let me just listen.
Help. Okay. Number 3. So if you're just joining us here, 7 rules of positive thinking. We had number 1, start each day with gratitude, practice affirmations, number 2, and number 3 is this is my favorite one. Focus on solution, not problems. So does Maria do this?
What do you think?
I think so. I think that when a problem happens, it affects you, but then at some point you're like, okay, there needs to be a solution here, and then you kind of like talk yourself out of thinking about the problem, and then you're actively looking for a solution and coming back and just trying to fix the thing. And I think in the books that you read, the things that you listen to, the workouts, you're like, yeah, I just need this, and then whatever.
I think you're right. I do. And it's, the awesome thing is that I always tell my kids, do you know who, what is her name? Marian Forlow or Mary Forlow? I can't remember her exact name, but she has a quote and she has a book that says everything is figure-outable, meaning that anything in life is figure-outable. You can figure it out, right? Yeah. And I remember saying, I think I shared this story before, and it's with Ruby again, right? So Ruby's my youngest. She's 7 years old, and I think I was frustrated or upset or something was going on, and we were outside of our house, and I'm like quickly grabbing things and whatnot, and she was like, "Mama, remember what you tell me. Everything is fixable." And I was like, you know what? You're right. Yeah. So having that mindset and having that thing that being like, you know what? There is something that I can figure out is not only positive for you, but it's positive for your kids. Everything, who we are, trickles down to our kids.
Well, I've told my kids that my father, he I don't know, lately I've been thinking about him a lot, right? Whatever. But I guess it's this whole thing about you being on time.
Yes, fixing me.
Because fixing you. Because this is because my dad helped me overcome this, right? And so he's been on my mind a lot. But another thing is that he never focused on the problem, and he would always tell us, "Listen, don't worry. There's a solution to some out there, whatever." And he would always say, "Every problem has a solution." Yeah. Always. And so such a young age, I adopted that in my life. That I've always told the kids, if they come home, there's a struggle, there's a problem, the house is broken, or there's just a problem. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's with the pet, kids, family, health, whatever. Yeah. I always tell Tegan and I tell the kids, listen, don't worry about it. Every problem has a solution. Mm-hmm. And so they know it's actually my motto that when I die, that's what I want on my tombstone.
Every problem has a solution.
Every problem has a solution.
Yeah, so you're even gonna do personal development even when you're gone. People are gonna read it and be like, oh.
Listen, I'm telling you that groundskeeper. You know what? You know what? What? Holy crap! You just gave me the best idea. I am going to have an LCD, like a little one of those LCD
with your best moments, best motivational, your TED Talk, portions of your TED Talk and different events that you've been in, or just.
So you can either keep guessing or I can tell you. How do you want to do this?
Tell me, please do tell me.
How do you we can do this? I mean, there's 2 ways we can do this. You can actually guess what's in my head, or I can tell you.
All right, tell me.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Guessing was pretty good.
Okay, go.
Tell
me. I'm sure. Tell me.
Have one of those, those LCD, not LCD, but those strip lights that you put in the back. You can still say talk, right? You can.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm practicing active listening.
No, but that's so weird.
Okay, go.
One of those where
the ones that have ads.
Yeah, this we'll say open or you're come in or welcome to whatever.
And I'll just be rotating in different slogans.
Right, but have some of my favorite quotes. I will create, because I do have a list of all my favorite quotes.
Yep.
And digitize them and put them on the thing. So who's ever visiting my grave or groundskeeper or whatever, a quote will just show up and it will just make their day.
I love it. I personally love it because we went to a funeral not too long ago, and a friend.
They had that?
No, they didn't have that. But we were talking about. So one of the things about me is that I actually, in the most respectful way, when it comes to funerals, I love going to funerals. I find them so life-giving, and I love the fact of getting to know who the person was, seeing the family, and just all the contributions. I find them so beautiful, right? So then one time we were sitting and I was talking to a few friends and we were talking about funerals, and they were sharing how much they dislike going to funerals. And for me, I'm like, I love going to funerals, right? Which I came to realize that's not something that everybody feels. Not a lot of people feel that way, right?
No.
So they were talking about when I pass, right? I'm like, I'm going to have a workout. I'm going to have a video. Everybody's going to go in there for like 20 minutes and do a workout. And the guy that I was talking to, he's like, it's going to be led by you coming back. I was like, yes. Listen, my funeral's going to be lit.
But a mariachi. I always say I want a mariachi band at my funeral.
There we go, right?
I do. That's
It is your moment to shine. You get whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you have to tell your kids, and really it's your kids that make the decision.
But I could put it on the will and they have to do it.
They don't have to.
Yes, they do.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean no?
No, anything that comes after you're gone, the only thing they have to do is when it comes to any kind of money or asset. When it comes to your wishes, as far as how you want to like be buried or things that want to happen, their wishes, they actually don't have to honor them.
Well, I can make it legally that if they don't put up any, hang on.
They can't make it. You can't make it legally.
Yes, I can.
No,
That
you
if I,
can't.
yes, it is. Then what's the point of a last will and testament? So if I
For your finances.
it doesn't
That's
matter.
The reason.
Here's the thing: is right. I can put prerequisites so they don't get any money until they have unless there's a mariachi band at my funeral. And if there's no mariachi band, that money gets donated to like friggin' children's aid.
I mean, you can talk to the lawyer, but legally, because Mike and I did our wills, and the lawyer said there is nothing, because we had the same mindset. We want X, Y, Z in our funeral. We want it to happen this way, da da da. And the lawyer was like, these are wishes. They do not have to honor them. The things that do need to be honored is when it comes to your children, where they go, if they're still young, and your finances and assets.
Well, I'm letting them know right now, publicly, right? Today is June 2nd, July 2nd, that if there's no mariachi band,
all your assets go to the Children's Foundation of somewhere.
somewhere, they will go somewhere else. They get nothing. If I have a quarter, I'll swallow it before I die.
That's what's gonna
They get nothing. So I have to have a mariachi band. I have to have a mariachi band. Anyways, you got to laugh. And if I can... My last wish is to make people laugh one last time.
do it. You should do a video.
I should.
You should do a video that gets to be played at your funeral.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah. The thing is, like, at what point do I make that video, right? Because I don't want to do it on the bed as I'm like...
No. So if you ever did find out that you were sick, I think right at that point, it would be the best time to do it. Because then...
Yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe you could do it every decade.
Anyways, I don't want to talk about this right now. This is getting way too weird. Nintendo and Funko Pops and Gigi's. What the freak? This is
Now we made it to funerals. I don't even know how.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we were talking about positive attitude, and so positive thinking, sorry.
And it led us to death.
Yeah. But I used to work for a company that said whatever you focus on grows.
Yeah.
And
And that's
so-
my favorite saying too.
It is. And so if you're always focusing on negativity, then that's exactly that's the only thing that's going to grow, right? So
Yeah.
on my funeral, that's what it's going to on the headstone, every problem has a solution, and then a LCD with maybe some mariachi bands.
I love it.
I don't know, something, but it's going to happen.
It's going to be solar powered.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
That I'm telling you, that groundskeeper will be a much better person.
Because it's keeping your too.
Because they're reading all this positive affirmations. 100%. Number 4, surround yourself with positive people. 100% you do this.
Yeah.
And you're going through, as we were talking in here this morning, you're going through a cleanup, like a spring cleaning.
Yeah, it's been difficult. So I would have to say that in the last couple of years, I've sort of had an upheaval in relationships in my life, both like family and just like friends and like kind of around me. And I feel like stepping into my 40s, it's really helped me to reset and to refocus on spending time with people that actually want to spend time with me, as opposed to looking at all the lacks in friendships that are not working out. Is also actually having the conversation. Remember last week how we had the conversation? If you didn't check out the podcast last week, we talked about disliking people.
Oh, forgiving.
And I was like, forget you.
And it's not forgiving.
And not forgiving, right? So I actually had a lot of time to think during this week about the concept of not liking someone and forgiveness. And I came to the realization that I do agree with half of the things that you said last week.
Right.
So a lot of the things that Miguel shared was like, have you truly forgiven if you're actively disliking someone, right?
Right.
So I had to think about that. And I realized that a lot of my energy was kind of going into these thought process, kind of like, forget you, I don't
Yeah.
care kind of attitude, right? And then it also brought into correlation other difficult relationships that I've had throughout my years, not just recently, but throughout my years. And I reshifted my thinking, actually, right? And it's kind of cool that we were talking about positivity today, because I reshifted it to gratitude and positivity. So one of the books that I read is called Patience.
Patience. Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah.
Amazing book. It talks about seasons in our life. So it talks about like the fall, the winter, the spring, and the summer, right? And it talks about how when we get into the winters of our life, sometimes we want to white knuckle it and have all these things. And when we feel like things are not going our way, we try to even like grasp it tighter. And so as I was thinking about this concept, I was like, man, I'm heading into the winter of my friendship seasons, right?
Yeah.
A lot of friendships that I've had have kind of like are no longer there per se, or perhaps not as strong, or perhaps I have a feeling that there's difficulty between us. And I came to the realization today that it's okay for friendships to go through those seasons.
Yeah.
I came to the realization that the important thing is to go back and not look at it in a way of what you're missing out on, but look at it in a way of gratitude. I'm so grateful to have had, even though I don't particularly speak to these people anymore, but I have had the moments that I had with those people. They were, they were fun, they were helpful. Sometimes they were really beautiful moments, and focusing on that and being okay letting go has really helped me to reshift.
So I've been thinking about last week's conversation as well,
Yeah.
right? And I still think you're wrong. But anyways, the point no. And here's the thing is, the bodies are programmed to protect, right? Mind and body, it's a survival skill, right? We've had it since caveman, right? And so if something is causing us harm, whether it be emotionally, physically, mentally, or spiritually, we put up walls.
Yeah.
And then they're immediate walls, right? Like,
Yep.
and a lot of those times, those walls are bandage solutions just to feel safe again.
Yep. I agree.
And so here's my thought process with last week's conversation. And if you haven't checked it out, go check it out because it's very enlightening. Is because you were hurt for so long, you were in survivor mode. You were in mama mode, bear mode. You needed to protect yourself, protect your mental, protect your spiritual, your health. And so you created this thing is like, forget you, I don't like you, and then whatever. But that was, and even though I think it's healthy in the sense of like you get an immediate relief, I don't think it's somewhere where you need to park.
Yeah, it's so true, actually.
Right?
I agree with you.
And then eventually, because once your mindset is, okay, I can breathe, because right now you weren't breathing. You were going to church, or were going to this facility, and then you kept struggling, and it ruined your spirituality. So right now you just need to get out of there right away and have a lifeline, a life preserver, and you just need to breathe. And this allowed you to breathe and put fresh air back into your mind, into your body. But this is not a place where you want to park, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually you're going to have to work throughout all these other feelings, and then be in a place where like, okay, this is what, whatever. And anyways, go back to what we were talking about. But
and you know what? You are absolutely right. I didn't see it that way last week. I think you're right. I think I needed that moment of respite. I needed that moment to be like, because it sucks, right?
It was fresh too, right? It was like, that was Monday when we talked about it.
Exactly. And I'm like, you don't have to be around people that are not kind to you.
Right.
I'm like, that is not what we are supposed to do. We're not, especially if you want to be in a positive mind, like in a positive headspace. There's no way that you are going to be in a positive headspace if someone that you are around is creating negative feelings, right? So I think you're right. I think at that moment, I needed that moment of respite.
Yeah.
I think this week has been a week of a lot of journaling, and I actually came to the realization that half of the reason why I got to that point was on me, and the reason being is that, well, one, we talked about it last week, that I wanted to do something to change the situation where really the ball was not in my court, right? The second part is I actually forgot to infuse positivity into my life. And that is where we are, right? Because these negative feelings, like the yin and the yang, they're always going to be there. Our spirit, our bodies always have the ability to feel both. And they're necessary because in all things, there has to be opposition.
Yeah.
How do you know what happiness feels like if you don't know what sadness feels like? How do you know what forgiveness feels like if you don't know what resentment feels like, right? So like we need these positive things, these positive and negative things in our life. So this week, what I actually did, and today I took a step back and I reset. I journaled. I realized that these negative feelings, I haven't been keeping at bay. I haven't been like working through them and accepting them for what they are, and then really reshifting and refocusing. And then I actually haven't been consistent in my scripture reading as good as I usually do.
Yeah.
And also in my readings with my books. I haven't. Like this past week, it's been like a hit and miss. And I redid it today and I was like, you know what? It's helping me to be in a better place.
Yeah.
Like you need to infuse positivity. How do you become positive? By the things you see, by the things you read, and the people you're around.
Yeah.
It's not just, you don't just divine positivity out of nowhere, of nowhere. And I think that's sometimes the misconception that we have, that naturally you are positive. You could have a tendency to be positive, but if you're not infusing positivity into your life, it's not going to happen or it's not sustainable.
Well, and I will tell you something. And now here's my compliment to you.
Okay.
Okay. And it goes back to this principle, surrounding yourself with positive people. Where you were, I was 2-3 years ago with something else. And I know you don't remember, but the advice that I gave you was pretty much almost word for word the advice that you gave me when I was going through that crap.
Yeah.
And so just, I guess, the importance of having good people in your life, because sometimes, listen, we're not meant to be on top 24/7.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, we're going to have our off days.
Yeah.
But whoever you have yourself around, like your surroundings, when they're down, you're there to lift them up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is, when they're up and you're going to have your low days, they're going to be there to lift you up.
Yeah.
So this advice that I gave you about, is it really truly forgiveness? That's not something I came up with. As much as I want to take credit, you're the one that actually gave me that similar advice about 3 years ago. And we did talk about it. And then you're like, you need to like figure this out because it's going to be poison.
It's so true though. Thank you though. And you're absolutely right, because
Yeah.
if it wasn't for there goes the importance of having a circle that you can connect with and you can trust. Because sometimes you just need to talk crap.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta get it out,
and that's okay,
right?
100%,
Yeah.
right? I talk so much trash about you when you're not around.
100%. He just needs to get it out.
It's ridiculous,
And then everybody
right?
has to be like, Maria's the most amazing person in your life, so relax.
I got Mike here.
I mean, second to Tegan. Tegan is the most amazing person. But yeah, you need that soundboard. You need that person who can help you to reflect and kind of, even if they're not ready to hear at that point, to kind of go back and rethink. But yeah, I'm grateful for the advice that you gave me last week, because even though I was like, no,
I know.
I like, forget you. I don't need
thought,
your advice.
I thought we were going to get into a fight. I was like so scared.
I totally was like, forget you. I don't need your advice. But in reality, even though I felt like I didn't need your advice during the week, I was like, okay, let me sit on it.
Yeah.
Let me reflect. Let me be self-aware of how I feel, and let me reshape this into something that I can let go and release.
Yeah.
Because holding on,
And if you notice, I was very careful because it wasn't the nail that you needed at that time.
Stupid video.
Stupid video. I hate that video.
I hate that video.
We should. Here's what I think that we should do. Every podcast we should start with that video.
I hate that video. We are not starting with that video. If you're wondering what the video is, please look it up in YouTube. It's called What, the Nail in the Head?
No, yeah, it's called It's Not About the Nail.
It's not about, I hate that video.
It's a great video. It's a phenomenal video. Maria's just upset because she didn't find it first. You know that if you would have found it,
I hate that video so much. It's been in my life for way too long. Years and years, this man is always like, you know that video? Let me show you that video. It's like the video.
Yeah, I love that video. I wish I would have come up with that video. Number 5, this is good. Turn negative thoughts around. So the post said that when you have a negative thought, try and catch yourself. So like sometimes you don't. Sometimes it takes a while, whether it's a minute, 30 seconds, whether it's 5 minutes, whatever. But the minute that you catch, and then the minute you're like, holy stink, like this is a negative thought, flip it and turn it into a positive one. And it's obviously it's going to be forced.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously it's going to be
100%. You're white knuckling it at that point.
obviously it's a negative thought. So if you know, like our Chewy, when he passed away 3-4 years ago, right? Like that was a heavy thing on our family. And we wallowed, we felt sorrow and whatever and all this other stuff. And then we're like, you know what? Now he's making God happy.
Yeah.
Right? Like
You reshifted it.
he is such a happy dog, and he was whatever. And he was like he always did that, right? And was like, well, he'll never get lost. Like everybody will know where he is, right? And so I turned it into like a joke and whatever. We were laughing and we all enjoyed it and stuff like that. But yeah, the minute that you think something positive, just stop right there and let your focus be like, okay, I have this negative thought. How can I turn this into a positive thought? And then sit on that kind of thing.
So I'm going to defer in this one. And I used to say that all the time before I read Anxiety RX. His favorite book.
I hate that book. And I haven't even read this. And I've quoted this book. I have never read this book, but I hate this book. As much as she hates
the video.
The nail video. So
I hate that stupid video.
Tell me about that stupid book.
I know. Okay. I used to do that all the time. I used to try to white knuckle it and try to shift that because I always read the same thing, right? It said turn a negative thought into a more life-giving thought. Mm-hmm. The issue, and what I read in this book, it said that you cannot fix thoughts with another thought. Thoughts is what got you to the point of what you're feeling. So if you're trying to introduce other thoughts, it's like you're white knuckling it. Can it help? Yes, but it's only a band-aid solution. It's an immediate solution.
Right.
So you know that whole thing that we talked about, like whatever you focus on grows, right?
Yep.
So the idea is behind starving the thought. So you have a negative thought, right? What this book suggests is that you take a step back and be like, oh, that's an interesting thought. So you realize that at that point, the thought just popped up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to reflect your feelings, right? It's the ABCs. Like he said, the ABCs of managing your emotions and managing your thoughts. So A, you become aware. You become aware of what the thought is. B, you focus on the body. So you have the thought, what is it doing it to my body, right? For me, when I have a negative thought, I can even feel it right now. My throat dries up. Sometimes I even start like coughing a little bit, and I have this feeling inside is like a pressure on my chest.
Really?
Yeah. So it's because every negative thought that we have creates a feeling, right? And if you focus on the feeling, your mind is focusing more on here instead of lighting fire to the thought and allowing it to take like a wildfire to take everything out, right?
Okay.
Then when you do, the C is giving yourself compassion, right? So how do you give yourself compassion? Accept how you're feeling. So A, become aware. Focus on your body and give yourself compassion. Then you're going to focus on wherever that feeling, that negative feeling, you're going to help your body to work through it. So for me, I feel it's in my chest. I'll just put my hand on my chest and I will focus on what it feels like. I'm giving myself compassion. So then when your body is a more stable kind of place and it feels more grounded, then you can choose either to go back to that thought and explore it, or just realize, you know what, sometimes thoughts happen, which has been a great learning tool for me and has helped me to actually work through thoughts much faster than ever before.
Interesting.
I was in the same token. Like if you read things out there, if you Google it and you read it, a lot of the things is like, oh, switch that thought into a more positive thought. He even talks about it, right? But what he says is like white knuckling it. And if we were able to do that, like effectively, everybody would be able to kind of like cure themselves from their negative thoughts, which we're not. It's only when we focus back into the body and the feeling. So
I think, correct me if I'm wrong. Here's the thing is, I think, so that it works, obviously, like, because I've done that a couple of times without the breathing whole thing, whatever. But I think we're talking about two different things.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Because, so what you're talking about is more of like a mental health, is being able to work out through your problems. So through that negativity with all this other stuff. This is more of how to stay positive? It might be the same thing. I don't know.
I think it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
you think?
because I'm like, yeah, because if you kind of give life to the thought that you're having, then that thought is going to spread. We have 80,000 thoughts a day, and do you know that majority of them, 80% of them, are actual negative thoughts? And from those negative thoughts, 60% are reoccurring of the same thought or different variations of the same thought.
Yeah.
So it's helping instead of just trying to white knuckle it, which you totally can. You can, if that is where you're at and you're like, okay, I just need to get a better thought in my mind, you're going to find yourself having a harder, you're going to find yourself always trying to kind of like react to the thought.
Yeah.
I'm reacting to the thought by changing the thought, as opposed to accepting the thought and then working through your feeling. And as you do that, I kid you not, the feelings, your body kind of automatically knows what to do the more you practice it, and it's easier to work through those negative thoughts.
So do you do this and turn a negative thought into a positive one? No, you don't do that anymore.
I do, like sometimes if I do both, actually, to tell you the truth, because sometimes I forget and I try to white knuckle it.
This is, see, I don't see this as a white knuckle though. I don't, I like, so for example, with me, right? Like if there's something negative creeping up, like I want to be in control of my thoughts. And so I stop that thought and I'm like, like whatever. And so it helps me. So if there's somebody that I don't like, and this person's whatever, I stop myself and I'm like, okay, what's something positive about this person that I can focus on, right? So it's taking that negativity, and I'm in control of my feelings, and I'm in control of my thoughts, and so this negativity, I'm going to turn it somehow into a positive, and I'm going to focus on the positive. All right, this person's a bad friend, but you know what? This person's a great dad. This person is a phenomenal church member, and this person is just an absolutely incredible person. And whoever those children are so blessed because they have such an amazing father. Yep. All of a sudden, my focus is on how great this person is versus how this person is making me feel and that negativity, right? I
think there can be room for both.
And I think so too. Yeah. And here's the thing about, I'm grateful that you said this, because human development, right? It's not a cookie cutter program.
Yeah.
And this is where it fires me up, where somebody produces either a book or they produce a concept or whatever, and then they try and make it like it's the end all and be all.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not that. And anytime that you're looking at human progression or anything like that, and that's why in this concept of vision to success, we explore all the different types of the in-betweens, right? One thing that you have to understand, that any time that you are in this business of personal development and human progression, whether it's for personal, business, or just, family, whatever, it's like driving your preferred car.
Yeah.
I took my kid to soccer sports camp, Zayn.
Okay.
And he jumps in my Jeep. He's very rarely in my Jeep. And he goes, Dad, I really love this car. And I go, yeah, it's been my favorite car since high school. And he goes, yeah, I really like this car. Seth loves the Mustangs.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Charger. He loves the Charger. That's his favorite car. So to get from point A to point B, we all want to get to point B. The question is, what's your favorite vehicle to use while getting to point B? And so I think human progression is listening to all the different tools that are out there, and then picking the one that fits your personality, right?
Yeah. I feel like with a whole concept with personal development as well is that it's okay to change.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Like,
yeah.
It's okay. Like for me, with regards to having the change between, I felt like for myself, when I was doing when I reshift and I turned it more into a positive thought, I was white knuckling it.
Yeah.
See, for me, it's the shifting into the focus of observing myself having that thought is where I find the most success.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes my thoughts hide. And they're like, oh, she's aware, like I can't be out, right? It's this whole conversation I have in my head. But then I feel like I'm more in control to be able to be like, to then come in with that more thought affirming and being like, hey, like I was telling you with the friendships, right? Being like, hey, this person was there for you at XYZ time, and we can have appreciation for this person and remember this.
Yeah.
Right? So I think there's room for both, for sure.
I think so. For me, yours seems more work. And I just I need more. For me, I need to like change now, go, what's the next task?
That's why he struggles with a lot of things. He's like a fast fire. What can get me there faster?
It is. I'm not gonna lie. I need a solution now, right?
He's like, don't tell me your hippie stuff. I don't know. That
Put your hands on your chest and breathe through your ears.
I know. Breathe through your ear, man.
Get that out of here. Ready? Number 6, visualize success. You do this all the time.
Yes, I do visualization.
And we've talked about a visualization, like how
Yeah,
it increases our metabolism and
you know what the cool thing about visualization is that your mind, your brain does not know what's imaginary and what's real.
Yeah.
So even if you're imaginating,
say it, say it properly. Even if you're imagination,
imaginating, I don't think that's a word.
That's not a word.
But if your imagination is giving you a life-giving life, your body's going to react to that.
Yeah.
It's so easy for us. We do it already. We had a podcast about this where we actually already visualize the negative. That comes easy and watch your body react to it, right?
Yeah.
But it takes practice to do it to the positive. And the amazing thing is that we can train our body to feel like we're there already. And then we're more open to the opportunities that will get us there.
Yeah. And then number 7, the last one, is celebrate small wins.
Yeah. I need to do more of this. I feel like I'm not as good because in certain aspects, I'm like you. Okay, let's go. Like, what else can I do? Or I feel like my win is not a win because I should have been there faster.
Yeah.
I struggle with that sometimes.
So I think you do all 7, right? So for those who are just logging in, we talked about the 7 rules for positive thinking. It's a post that I saw, and so I wanted to have a conversation with Maria about them and try and figure out how many of the 7 that she does. And listen, 1, start each day with gratitude. 2, practice self-affirmation. 3, focus on your solutions, not your problem, which is my favorite one out of them all. 4, surround yourself with positive people. 5, turn negative thoughts around into positive ones. 6, visualize success. And 7, celebrate your wins. Maria, I think you do all 7.
I do them. I just don't think I do them as consistently as I should. But yeah.
So I'm about to toot my own horn, but I do all 7.
He's like, look at me.
Like I need you to understand. I need you to understand. I'm kind of a big deal.
Yep.
Do you know where this is from?
Where?
It's Will Ferrell, Anchorman.
Okay.
There's a girl that he likes. It's one of our favorite lines as a family with the kids. It's he goes up to a girl, and she, Christina Applegate, beautiful actress, right? And so Will Ferrell goes up to her and goes, "I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm kind of a big deal." That's how he's trying to pick her up, and we die every time we hear that. And so for Christmas, they got me that.
I love it because I feel like that would be your attitude. He walks into church and he's like, anywhere he goes, he's like, you know what? You should get a T-shirt with that on there.
Liar,
100%.
liar.
Did you not hear him at the end? Where he's like, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I do also.
No, I'm listen.
I'm kidding.
In Alma, in the scriptures, they talk about self-evaluation all the time, and that it's so important for personal progress is to know where you are. And this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where I'm fully aware of my body and my thoughts in my mind, because I self-assess all the time. Yeah. I'm like, where am I? Where can I be doing better? And all these different things. And I'll go back to this time and time again until I'm blue in the face. The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Mm-hmm. I've been listening to that man every single night before I go to bed. I put it on repeat. Yeah. Right. I created a button on my phone where I press it. It starts playing for 15 minutes and automatically shuts off. That's right. Awesome. And so the power of positive thinking is just what do you say to yourself? What are you self-aware of? What's going on and all these different things. And anyway, so when I look at this as a self-assessment, I'm like, is there anything that I can do? If there's anything that I can be doing better, and there's one of them.
Which one would you say?
Visualization. Before I used to have like a vision board.
Yeah.
But then I accomplished most of those things.
You didn't create a new one.
And so I didn't create a new one. And so there's still certain things in that board that I want. And I've been happy with just them being in my mind. But I do know that there's importance of having it somewhere. Like I have that right there.
Yeah.
Right. And there's certain things that I do want that I need to like make it more in the forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But
all right. Well, this is it. I'm glad you guys were all here with us with the power of positive thinking, the 7 things that you can do. Make sure you take some notes, see what things you kind of want to incorporate to your life. Remember, you don't have to incorporate everything. Just choose a small action that you feel like you can do and start there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is it.
welcome to the end of our podcast.
Welcome to the end.
So
We have made it. If you stuck out with us for this hour and 15 minutes, I have to give you a round of applause.
Oh yeah, you guys need to go back and take a look at this podcast because I'm telling you, and I'm gonna put up these posts, and I keep saying that I'm gonna put up these posts, but like what we talked about and things like that, but they're super important. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Right here, all of our we're gonna be our summer podcast is gonna be a little bit different. Because again, next Monday we're camping. We're gone.
Yeah.
We're not here.
It's just gonna be a little spotty, but it's because of how busy we are.
Yeah.
But we will come at least once a month.
Oh, more than that.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
the bare minimum.
So we're talking about the pair. Think positive here. But no, what I'm gonna try and do better next time is put up the posts with enough notice and enough advance, and so that way you guys can, if you see the post, like it, share it, and just join, and then that way the minute we go live, you'll get a notification what's going on. But again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or X, whatever, all these, just follow us, and then you'll be able to follow us and then join us in the podcast. And look out for the private chat or the private group. The book, and we'll let you know more about it, and then anyways we'll go from there.
All right, have fun, everybody. Happy week. I was like, wait, what day are we on? I was gonna say Happy Canada Day, but that was already. So Happy Canada Day week.
Bye, guys.
Get a minute, don't know. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its sides. Fall down from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. Yourself when no one's to be found. What keeps you eased out? What takes you off your mind?
Guess you want this, I want this. Everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Take the time to recognize it. You won't leave me even if I tried it. You're the artist in the mess, and happily perform the new in your hands.
I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time.